First settled in 1787 after the end of the American Revolution, the village of Owego was located along the Owego and Ithaca Turnpike. The location of the railroad and the Susquehanna River quickly gave rise to a growing commercial district. Since the founding of Owego, North Avenue has been a center of activity. This well-traveled road was originally called Owego Turnpike, Turnpike Street, Ithaca Street, North Avenue, Broadway, and finally, in 1881, the name North Avenue, as it's known today, was restored. Located in the heart of North Avenue is a now vacant property referred to by locals as the Pit. Bounded north by Fox Street, east by North Avenue, south by Temple Street, and west by Central Avenue, this property was originally part of the Harmon Pompelli estate and was home to a large marshy pond called Dodd's Pond. The name Dodd's Pond likely originated from the John Dodd family, who lived in a house near the pond. Dodd's Pond took up nearly 3/4 of the property and was a popular spot for families in the community. Children ice skated on the pond in winter and floated on homemade rafts in the summer. 2 docks extended out into the water for use by firemen in case of a nearby fire. A low section at the southwest corner of the property caused water and marshy conditions along Temple Street and extending to the edge of McMaster Street. On September 27, 1849, much of Owego's commercial district was destroyed by a large fire. The Owego Gazette reported the temporary removal of many businesses to North Avenue as work to rebuild the waterfront area began immediately after the fire. Prior to the Civil War, commercial establishments were rebuilt, including, in 1851, a hotel at the southeast corner of North Avenue and Temple Street across from the Presbyterian Church. Hailing from the Hudson Valley area, the man who owned the hotel named it the Hudson House. The rear of the Hudson House extended over Dodd's Pond and was supported by long posts driven into the water. Less than 25 years later, the hotel had fallen into disrepair and was demolished in 1875. Wet conditions on the property made construction difficult, but over the years, several buildings were constructed on the marshy ground. By the 1880s, Dodd's Pond was filled in to make way for commercial and residential structures. Central Avenue bisected the area where families had once gathered and children played. Businesses such as the Owego Steam Flouring Mill and Owego Wagon Works operated on the site. Prominent Owego businessman and Civil War veteran Lyman B. Truman built a saw and lumber mill in 1893. In 1897, wishing to be close to his lumber operation, Truman also built his home on North Avenue, directly across the street from the First Presbyterian Union Church. After numerous devastating fires, in 1862, the fire department of the village of Owego was incorporated by an act of state legislation. Despite the formation of a capable, active fire department, fires were common in the 19th century, often destroying businesses and homes. Owego Central Fire Station, one of North Avenue's most significant buildings, was built between 1911 and 1912. As time passed, many more buildings and businesses grew along North Avenue. In addition to fires, however, flooding of the former Dodd's Pond site was a problem. On March 19, 1936, an article in the Owego Gazette said, "Just east of Central Avenue in the rear of the Aaron Truman Mill, a low place which was a pond several years ago, is filled with several feet of water." In the face of natural disaster, economic uncertainty, and war, the community, much like today, continued to demonstrate their strength and resilience. Parades were organized to honor service members, commemorate special events, and display community pride. Businesses continued to grow along the North Avenue corridor. Half a century after Lyman B. Truman built his mansion, construction began on the Miller Lumber Company store at 107 North Avenue. Building began in May 1949, but by June, the newspaper stated, while in process of building at the new location, the company was hampered and set back in construction by heavy rain. Water collected and overflowed the curb in front and cascaded into the new building, undermining and causing collapse of a 25-foot portion of the cinder block wall and covering other portions of the building with water, mud, earth, and debris. Mr. Miller stated that he plans further expansion, intending to extend his present building and facilities to Central Avenue, which bounds the back side of the company's land. Miller Lumber operated at 107 North Avenue from 1949 into the early 1980s. The True Value hardware store operated out of the former Miller Lumber store from the 1980s to the early 1990s. Over the years, surrounding businesses and organizations have continued to change and evolve. In 1994, tragedy struck. Less than 100 years after construction, a fire destroyed Lyman B. Truman's once handsome former home. Remodeled many times over the years, the building housed several apartments. Thanks to quick thinking on the part of residents and the Owego Fire Department, everyone escaped unharmed. The building was a complete loss and was demolished shortly after. The True Value hardware store was razed in 2002. Hoping to put the property to good use, many ideas were considered. An archaeological report was initiated by the Department of Transportation to consider rerouting heavy truck traffic. Harkening back to the 1860s, a proposal to fill in the site was brought forward. Following catastrophic flooding in 2006 and then again in 2011, in order to best protect the surrounding neighborhoods, the Village of Owego adopted flood mitigation standards that prevented the site from being filled. With the hope of constructing a residential building or a parking garage, the Tioga County Industrial Development Agency commissioned a geotechnical evaluation to explore the viability. The study was completed by an engineering firm in 2016. Unfortunately, due to unstable ground conditions, construction could not be supported on the former site of Dodds Pond. With possibilities limited, the property sat vacant and underutilized, an unfortunate eyesore along the bustling North Avenue corridor. Opportunity presented itself in 2017 when the Village of Owego was awarded $10 million by way of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Reminiscent of the days of Dodds Pond, residents reimagined the site once again as a gathering place for the community and a space for children to play. Funding for the park was approved in 2019. Plans are well underway for the construction of the park, which will include an outdoor amphitheater, a flood-resistant interactive sculpture garden, and 24 parking spaces to support the surrounding businesses. Adding to the excitement of the new park, the Owego Hose Team recently announced plans to restore the Owego Fire Department's rare 1866 steam fire pumper. To showcase both this piece and the department's 1939 Sanford hose truck, a steamer house will be built directly adjacent to the park. Constructed of cedarwood frame and glass solarium walls for 360-degree viewing, with a steeple supporting an antique fire bell, construction is expected to be complete in 2023. An exciting addition to the storied timeline of this historic property, the development of the park and steamer house on the former Dodds Pond site is sure to spark much anticipated revitalization of North Avenue. Nearly 200 years after Dodds Pond was filled, the sound of children laughing and playing will echo once again.